श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपाकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Anyonyam. Is that the one? Yes. Anyonyam Asit Sanjalpa Uttama Shloka Chetasam Kauravendra Pura Strinam Sarva Shruti Mano Hara Anyonyam Asit Sanjalpa Uttama Shloka Chetasam Kauravendra Purashrina Sarva Shruti Manohara Anyonyam Ashid Sanjalpa Uttama Shloka Chetasam Kauravendra Purashrina Sarva Shruti Manohara Anyonyam Ashit Sanjalpa Uttama Shloka Chetasam Kauravendra Purashrina Sarva Shruti Manohara Anyonyam Asit Sanjalpa Uttama Shloka Chetasam Kauravendra Purashrina Sarva Shruti Manohara Anyonyam Asit Sanjalpa Uttama Shloka Chetasam Kauravendra Purashrina Sarva Shruti Manohara Anyonyam Asit Sanjalpa Uttama Shloka Chetasam Kauravendra Purashrina Sarva Shruti Manohara. Okay. Anyonyam, among each other. Asit, there was. Sanjalpa, talking. Uttama Shloka, the supreme who is praised by selected poetry. Chetasham, those whose hearts are absorbed in that way. Kaurava Indra, the king of the Kurus. Pura, capital. Strinam, all the ladies. Sarva, all. Shruti, the Vedas. Manahara, attractive to the mind. So we've got the translation and then the purport by His Divine Grace. I see Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Absorbed in the thought of transcendental qualities of the Lord who is sung in select poetry, the ladies on the roofs of all the houses of Hastinapur began to talk of him. This talk was more attractive than the hymns of the Vedas. So we can all repeat. Absorbed in the thought of the transcendental qualities of the Lord, who is sung in select poetry, the ladies on the roofs of all the houses of Hastinapur began to talk of him. This talk was more attractive than the hymns of the Vedas. Okay, the purport. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that in all the Vedic literatures, the goal is the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. Factually, the glories of the Lord are depicted in such literature as the Vedas, Ramayana, and Mahabharata. And in the Bhagavatam, they are specifically mentioned in respect to the Supreme Lord. Therefore, while the ladies on the tops of the houses in the capital of the kings of the Kuru dynasty were talking about the Lord, their talk was more pleasing than the Vedic hymns. Anything sung in praise of the Lord is Shruti mantra. They are songs of Thakur Narottama Das, one of the acharyas in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, composed in simple Bengali language. But Thakur Vishwanath Chakravarti, another very learned acharya of the same Sampradaya, has approved the songs by Thakur Narottama Das to be as good as Vedic mantras. And this is so because of the subject matter. Of course, the subject matter is Lord Shri Krishna. The language is immaterial, but the subject matter is important. So anyone who sings the praises of Lord Krishna is as good as Vedic hymns. This is what we can understand by his devotees, whoever is singing praises of Lord Krishna. The ladies who were all absorbed in the thought and actions of the Lord developed the consciousness of Vedic wisdom by the grace of the Lord. And therefore, although such ladies might not have been very learned scholars in Sanskrit or otherwise, still, whatever they spoke was more attractive than the Vedic hymns. The Vedic hymns in the Upanishads are sometimes indirectly directed to the Supreme Lord, but the talks of the ladies were directly spoken of the Lord. And thus, they were more pleasing to the heart. The ladies' talks appeared to be more valuable than the learned Brahmins' benedictions. So, a little bit of Mangal Charan. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sva Padantikam Vande Ham Shri Gurum Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Trubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Va Evacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this morning's purport and subject matter is quite endearing because it refers not just to the ladies, it is to all of us. And they are, actually the situation is that the Kurukshetra battle has finished and Lord Krishna is going to be sitting on his chariot and going home back to Dwarka, to his palace and all his queens. And the entire city of Hastinapur have come to say goodbye. And they are feeling very sad that he's leaving, and they are regretting. And the ladies especially, there were many ladies, and they all love Sri Krishna. And they came up onto the rooftops, which kind of suggests that the houses in Hastinapur at that time, they must have been strictly speaking, in different levels, because then the top level would have the roofs where the ladies can go up. I think it's still there like that in India in some places, where there is a house and then they have a roof. So it's 2 levels, and then they can go up on the roofs. So the ladies, they actually went up to the roofs, it is described. Actually, I thought that I'd be speaking on another shlok today, so I did a little bit of preparation for that as also. It is described the ladies were shy, and that's why they went up to the rooftops to look at Krishna, which suggests that in the Vedic system, which is Vedic times, the ladies observed this strict parda. It's called parda. They were shy, and the prabhus, the gentlemen, they did not interfere with that. They let them go up to the roofs without going up there themselves. So there was a strict separation. With the ISKCON situation that we have this certain separation of the sexes also, where the ladies stand separate. And sometimes ISKCON is criticized for that we are a little bit too harsh and we separate the sexes when the rest of the society is not separating the ladies. Everything is all in one. So I just wanted to point out there that these are not Vedic times, obviously, but it should be. The Vedic culture has been lost somewhere. And Srila Prabhupada's intentions were actually to revive the Vedic culture. And so we are quite lucky in the ISKCON situation that this Vedic culture is being revived. So we actually remember these things. And the ladies are taught. Actually, the forgotten etiquette, basically, is being revived. And instead of actually criticizing, we should praise. Because somewhere in this world, we have this Vedic culture being taught to us. And it is both, it is not just the ladies, it actually works both ways. The ladies are keeping their distance, or they're going up the rooftops, they are a bit shy, and Prabhupada describes this quality as a very attractive quality, and the kind of quality that pleases Lord Krishna. And on the other hand, the gentlemen there, the Prabhus, they also respect this. So it works in kind of 2 ways. It is not just simply grooming the ladies to be, observe this kind of etiquette, but also grooming our Prabhus to be respectful of that. So it goes both together. So that was just a short explanation on that one. With that, there is a lot of etiquette, not just the etiquette, but there's association, the topic of association, or how we choose our association, whether we whether we go with the society these days, or whether we stick to this Vedic scriptures. So there's etiquette, there's association, there's also an element of respect. And obviously, it is all encompassed within our Krishna consciousness, and we focus on Krishna conscious. But what I really wanted to talk about this morning was that the ladies, they talked about Krishna. And they were not learned scholars, but whatever it is they said about Lord Krishna was considered to be as good as the Vedic hymns. And the Vedic hymns, they are obviously compiled by our acharyas and very learned scholars like Srila Vyasadeva, who has compiled Srimad Bhagavatam. And there we've got just the simple ladies, and they're speaking of Krishna, and they are basically on the same level. So what I really wanted to say is we worship Sri Radha Gopinath here in this temple. And I thought that it might be nice to talk about Gopinath this morning. And Gopinath is the Lord of all the gopis, and he is our Lord. But most of all, he is the Lord of the chief among the gopis. He is the Lord of Srimati Radharani. Radharani is the queen of all the gopis. And what are some of the things that we can talk about of Gopinath? Because usually we talk about the stories in the Srimad Bhagavatam and his devotees. I'll just grab my iPad. So the other day, I was listening to a class by my spiritual master as usual. And he was reading from the Nectar of Devotion. And I thought that was really nice. I enjoyed that class, but I thought we should go over that chapter because it talks about Krishna. It talks about Gopinath. And what are some of the things we talk about? Because normally when we have classes, our acharyas who are sitting, or our leaders who are sitting on the Vyasa asana and telling us, they say no prajalpa, no unnecessary talk, right? Prajalpa, unnecessary talk. So then what is necessary talk, the positive side of it? The necessity is what is actually described here. What's the word? Sanjalpa, which is talking about Krishna. It's the opposite of prajalpa. So what is it that we can talk about? We know what we should not talk about. But what is it that we can talk about? We can talk about Gopinath. So we're going to talk about Gopinath this morning. So what are some of the qualities that are actually about Gopinath? The Nectar of Devotion, this is in chapter 26. It's a very nice chapter. It describes a lot of Gopinath and some of the opinions of our gopis. So some things that give impetus or stimulation to ecstatic love of Krishna, that is Gopinath, are, first of all, his transcendental qualities, his uncommon activities, his smiling features. Is Gopinath smiling this morning? He is smiling, and he's very beautifully dressed this morning. Whoever dressed him did a very good job, orange and lime green. So he is smiling. His apparel, his garlands, somebody made his garlands very lovingly. He has garlands. He has his flute. He has his buffalo horn. I'm not sure if he's got his buffalo horn there this morning, but he's got a buffalo horn. He has leg bells. So leg bells means ankle bells. And he has a conch shell. He doesn't have one this morning, but he still has a conch shell. And his footprints. He has footprints and his places of pastimes. And his favorite pastime is Vrindavan. Vrindavan, mainly Vrindavan. And his favorite plant. What's his favorite plant? Tulsi Maharani, yes, Tulsi. So his favorite plant. So these are some of Lord Krishna's, if we're doing a profile on Lord Gopinath this morning. His favorite plant, Tulsi Maharani. His devotees. We could talk about his devotees. And on periodical occasions for remembering him. One such occasion is Ekadashi, which comes twice a month on the 11th day of the moon, both waning and waxing. And on that day, devotees are fasting throughout the night and they chant the glories. Some of the other occasions are obviously Janamashtami. We have Gaura Purnima coming up very soon. We have all these occasions where we remember Lord Krishna. So what is it about his transcendental qualities? His transcendental qualities are divided into 3 groups. Transcendental qualities are divided into 3 groups. One is the quality pertaining or means to do with his transcendental body. So first is body. Second is speech, to his speech. And third is his mind. So body, mind, and speech. Those are his transcendental qualities. Now, his bodily features, that means his age, his beauty, and his mildness. Krishna always has the most attractive body. It's transcendental. And as soon as you see Lord Krishna's body or form, the devotee goes in ecstatic love. So attractive and so beautiful. And Krishna's age is also divided into 3. The first one is age of, we all know this one, right? Kumar, where is from the time of birth till the time he's 5 years old. That's Kumar age. And in that Kumar age, he does his drama with his parents. So from 0 to 5. And then from the beginning of the 6th year to the 10th, end of the 10th year, he is in Poganda age. It's called Poganda, where he is playing along with his cowherd boys. That's when he's running around with his friends, cowherd boys. And they get up to all sorts of mischief. And Krishna loves to steal from his neighbors. Do you know of anybody who likes to steal from their neighbors? Have you ever stolen from your neighbor? No. Well, Krishna steals from his neighbors. He steals butter from his neighbors. Not only himself, but he trains his friends to also become thieves. Makanchor, he trains them up as well. And when we talk about a thief, we usually say put him in jail. But when we talk about Krishna, we say, oh, great. It makes us feel so happy that he's not only he's stealing, but he's teaching his friends to be thieves also. So his friends also go next door neighbor and they steal. Stealing of butter. This is the Poganda age. I actually was thinking about that Makanchor. That is very, Makanchor is the where Krishna is stealing his butter from the neighbors. And I checkmated myself, because what happened is we say to Krishna, well, you stole butter. And Krishna's answer, what is it? I didn't steal it. So, but he did. He went to the neighbors and quietly creeped into their house, broke their butter pots, ate it, fed his friends, and then the monkeys, and then ran off. That's what he did. But he says, I didn't do it. And he looks so innocent when he's doing it. So how did I checkmate myself? If I were to get into an argument with Gopinath here and tell him, oh, you stole the butter, and Gopinath says, no, I didn't. And I'll say, okay, well, actually you are God, and everything in this world, in this creation, it does belong to you anyway. So how can you steal something that belongs to you, right? We can't. So then instantly, I'd never even had an argument with Krishna, but I checkmated myself right then. Yeah, you didn't steal it. Because of course it belongs to you, even though your neighbors try to claim the butter as their own. Anyway, that's a Poganda age. It's very beautiful pastimes at that age. And then the beginning of the 11th to the 15th year is called Keshora, which is when Krishna is growing up. And after the 15th year, there's three. There's Kumara, there's Poganda, then there's Keshora, and then as soon as ends up 15, he goes on to his 16th year. That is known as Yovan. That is the time that he leaves Vrindavan, the Yovan age. And then there's no changes after that. He stays the same all the time. So that was his age. And while he was growing up, so we're talking about his bodily features. While he was growing up, he looked so attractive that the gopis used to lose their minds, and they were so attracted by him. They were in such confused state. So here is a statement by Kundalata. Kundalata is one of the residents of Vrindavan at the time of Lord Krishna. Her name is, she was a gopi. And she said to her friend, my dear friend, I have just seen an extraordinary beauty appearing on the person of Krishna. This is when Krishna is growing up. Extraordinary beauty appearing in the person of Krishna. His blackish bodily hue appears just like the Indranila jewel. So he's compared to a jewel, Indranila jewel. And there are reddish signs on his eyes, and small soft hairs are coming out on his body. The appearance of these symptoms has made him extraordinarily beautiful. So that is one of the qualities. And now Gopinath here, he also looks very beautiful. He's in a deity form, but he looks so beautiful. We stand there in the mornings and we gaze at him for 8 hours, so long, some of us. Very beautiful. So let's continue. And another thing about Lord Krishna's body is his smile. Actually, I had a dream once when I was in Giridhari temple in Oakland. I got the chance to see Krishna smile a little bit. He has a sidelong look, sidelong glance, and with that is accompanied by a very mild smile. It won't show his teeth, but it is a smile, and it's a very beautiful smile. It is captivating. So what is that effect that smile has? Krishna can Krishna can actually, with just his smile, he can remove all your armor and weapons. I think there was a story where there was this demon who went to fight with Krishna, and Krishna was not in the mood to fight back. So all he did was he smiled, and the demons dropped all his weapons and just went like, was lost. Krishna killed him with just a smile. His smile is so powerful, just a smile. So what happened here was he smiled as he was growing up, he smiled. And the gopis were so captivated, their hearts were so captivated, they were simply unable to express themselves. So what they happened was, they became bewildered and they will stop talking to others. They stopped talking. His smile was so attractive. All of these gopis have become so affected that they had to offer 3 sprinkles of water. In fact, there were 3 sprinkles of water on themselves. In Indian culture, it means when you sprinkle water 3 times, you are ready to die. They were so captivated by Lord Krishna's smile that they wanted to commit suicide. Wow. So then Krishna, when he arrives at the age of 13 to 14, his 2 arms and chest, they grow bigger, and they assume such unspeakable beauty. And his whole form becomes simply enchanting. So Krishna, when it's described, his 2 thighs were challenging like trunks of elephants. His rising chest were trying to become peace stalks, or to come to peace stalks with the doors of the jewels. His 2 arms were minimizing the value of bolts and founds on doors. I mean, who can describe the wonderful beauty of these features of Krishna? The special beauty of Krishna's body was his smiling. His restless eyes and the world-enchanting songs, these are special features of his age. Apparently, Krishna loves to sing. There's a story about his singing. Once he decided to impress Radharani, so he wanted to sing for her. And so he went to his mates, his friends, teach me a song for Radharani. You might know this story already. So his buddies got together and taught, all the Brajavasis, they got together and taught Krishna this song to impress Srimati Radharani. And Krishna he learned that song, he went and sang for Radharani. And what did she do? She slammed the door on his face. She said, I'm not impressed. She was actually angry with him from before about something. And then he goes to impress her, and she gets more angry. She closes the door and slams it and walks off. Radharani, she reserves the right to do these things. We all can't do that, but she reserves that right. And why did she do that? I was wondering, and then I got that answer. She did it because Lord Krishna is God. He can compose the songs himself. Why does he have to learn it from somebody else? So that was her point. She was not impressed. So if you want to impress with the song, make it up yourself. Why have to go to the Brajavasis and they teach you? So she was not impressed. So anyway, so that's Krishna. He loves to sing as well. There's one gopi who describes his feature at this age, at the age of 13. My dear friend, just see how all of a sudden in the sky of Krishna there is a powerful rising sun, and how this rising sun is minimizing the rays of our chastity moon. In other words, the girls were so attracted that they were prepared to, leave their husbands. They forgot their chastity. But that's the effect Lord Krishna has. He has the effect of 1,000,000 cupids or more. So these gopis, they never stood a chance. Never stood. So they say, our attraction for Krishna is so intense that it is drying up the lotus flower of our discrimination. They can no longer tell what's right and wrong. He was so attractive, they just threw all the rules out the window. And we are losing our senses in deciding whether we should continue to be chaste women or be victimized by the beauty of Krishna. They couldn't tell. Poor gopis. My dear friend, I think that we have lost all hope of life. Actually, even Srimati Radharani says, if you are attracted to Krishna, you are in a hopeless situation. After that, there is no hope for you. There is no turning back. Srimati Radharani, this is from Vidagdha Madhava, she was also attracted by Lord Krishna, and at one time, actually Lord Krishna's beauty, his name, his fame, they are non-different. So she was attracted by the sound of his flute. She hadn't seen him yet. And she already fell in love with the flute player. And then people came and talked to Radharani about Shri Krishna. And she listened to Krishna, about Krishna, and she fell in love there as well. So she knew that I'm in love with Krishna, and she knew she was in love with the flute player. And then Vishaka goes, her friend, her very dearmost, closest associate, Vishaka goes and draws a picture of Lord Krishna and shows it to her. And she was instructed by Purnamasi, the grandmother, to draw the picture and show it to Srimati Radharani. So Radharani had the picture, she had the pastimes of Krishna, she heard about him, she had the flute player, and she thought, I'm in love with all three of them. I'm the most in a despicable condition. She was actually deriding herself. How can I fall in love with three men at once? Because the point is that the picture of Krishna, the talks about Krishna, and the flute player, they're non-different from each other. So the effect is all the same, whether you're listening to his flute, whether you're listening to his stories, or you're just looking at his photo. The effect is one and the same. So Srimati Radharani was in a confused state. Why am I in love with three different persons? This is not done. And then Vishaka and Lalita, they told her, it's one and the same. You're talking about the same person. All of them are one. And she felt peaceful after that. Anyway, after that, Krishna, and the gopis actually thought, this is another thing, when Krishna smiled at them, the gopis thought that they were being attacked by the demon, because they lost their, their minds actually. They didn't know whether to be chased, what is it, and they were thinking that Krishna's smile is like a demon attacking them. And they went back to Krishna hoping, because he's the killer of demons, he will actually console them. So that was very contradictory. In one hand, they're accusing Krishna of attacking us. On the other hand, they're saying, you are the only one who's a demon killer. You can actually fix us up. So these were the state of the gopis. And then he goes into Kishore age, which is past the 13, and he starts dancing with the girls at that time. He becomes very, very, very attractive at that stage. And Krishna is the killer of the attraction of Cupid, and as such, he disturbs the patience of newly married girls. Krishna's bodily features have become so exquisite, it is as if they were all manifesting artistic sense of highest sort. His dancing eyes have dimmed the brilliance of most expert dancer. So his eyes were always moving around and were better than a dancer. And so there is no longer any comparison. Krishna became like incomparable in beauty. He's Shama Sundar. Learned scholars therefore describe the features of his body at this time as Nava Yovana, newly invented youthfulness, because it's something unique, newly invented. At this stage, Krishna's bodily features, conjugal love affairs with gopis and similar pastime became very prominent. So this was the prominent age for those things. Krishna's apparel and garments. So we are now finished about the bodily features. His garments. What does he like to wear? It's divided in 4 kinds. One is his shirt, one is his turban, one is his belt, and the other one is wearing garments, possibly the chadar they put over him. So today he is wearing a turban, he is wearing a shirt, is he wearing a belt? He's wearing a jeweled belt that's hanging on his side. And what was the other one? The other wearing garments, definitely. He's got his shawl. So there are 4 kinds. And while he was in Vrindavan, he used to wear reddish garments. Actually, the first time I offered him garments, clothes, they were reddish. I didn't know what kind. At that time, I was in fact, I'm very ignorant. But I chose red at that time. I'm glad I did, because it's written here, he likes reddish garments at that age. And he had a golden shirt on in his body, an orange-colored turban. So his turban was orange. His shirt was golden. And he used to wear different kinds of belts, and he combines that with his smile. That's a lesson for us as well. We should always smile. We'll win hearts that way. If we are in any problems and we want to win people on our side, smile. So different kinds of belts. Of course, our smile will not be as good as Krishna's, never. different kinds of bells, combined with his enchanting smile, used to always increase the transcendental bliss of his associates. The dress of Krishna is described as gorgeous. Krishna was, he took care in his appearance. He always wanted to be the best dresser, always. And he always used to wear these colored garments. And he used to wear this to the Kurukshetra battle too. Did you know that? He used to go battle, but he used to be well dressed for it. And the sages used to say that Krishna has not come to the battle, he's come to grace the Kurukshetra battle with his presence, with his beauty. He used to wear all kinds of garlands. And Krishna loves to do his hair. That's funny, isn't it? He's our God, and he loves to make sure that his hair is nice. It's called akalpa. The akalpa means the texture of Krishna's hair. He likes to do his hair sometimes decorated with flowers. Sometimes the flowers are in the middle of his head, and sometimes the flowers go from the back of his head down to his back. He used to have big hair, long curly black hair, and he used to like to do his hair in different hairstyles. So, and he also used to put sandalwood pulp on his body. And it was whitish, but they put saffron in it to make it look yellow. He'd put that. And his gopas would make designs on his body. So he was very well decorated and designed, artistic, with the flowers and with amazing, gorgeous clothes. And then he had his flute. He used to have a garland. This garland is only one flower, but he had 5 different colors. They're Vajanti, it's called Vajanti Mala, Vajanti garlands, 5 different colors. And the garlands used to come up to his knees sometimes, and they were long, they'd go up to his ankles. And then he had other garlands too. Some were short, some were long, some were on top of his head, some were different colors. So we can actually see he's our Gopinath is wearing garlands, and he has a love for garlands. So whoever makes his garlands are very fortunate, because that's what Krishna loves to wear. He loves to wear garlands. Of course, he likes the 5 different colors. And then he has the sandalwood pulp. We talked about that. He also has earrings. He wears earrings. He has necklace. And he also has bangles. And he has ankle belts. And he has a helmet also. He likes to wear a helmet. And in his helmet, he puts a peacock flower. And he looks very beautiful with all these things. His earrings are made of diamonds. So he has diamond earrings. And his necklace are made of pearls. Pearl necklace. And his garments are embroidered. So if you actually look at our DT, he has those things. He might be wearing a diamond earring today. And his clothes are most surely, they are embroidered. And he has a turban. He doesn't have a helmet, but he's got a peacock feather there. And then Krishna has a flute. Let's talk about his flute. The story of his flute is so nice. I love the story of his flute personally. When Krishna was playing, this is from Vidagdha Madhva, the book Vidagdha Madhva. When Krishna was playing his flute, Lord Brahma came to listen. So did Lord Shiva. And Madhu Mangal was there with Krishna. They were playing. And Krishna obviously was up to his tricks. He was waiting for Srimati Radharani to come, but she didn't come. And so he said, let me play this flute. While he was playing this flute, Lord, I'll actually read that part. It is very funny. I'll find that book. It's in the library of mine, Vidagdha Madhva. It's here. Let's see. So Madhu Mangal was there, and he saw this, he actually saw Brahma come, but he didn't know it was Brahma. And he saw Lord Shiva come too, and Krishna was playing his flute. They had actually come to listen to his flute. This is it. Madhu Mangal got really frightened. He's the roly-poly friend of Krishna who loves to eat laddus a lot. He goes for second, Madhu Mangal. And he got really frightened, and he goes, run, we are scared. There is somebody there. There are demons. Run, run. Krishna, let's run. And Krishna says, what's wrong? And he goes, can't you see, you foolish Gopa? He says to Krishna, can't you see, you foolish Gopa? Riding on a swan and accompanied by a naked ghost, grabbing many snakes, is a four-headed Rakshas, Yaksha. So he thinks, because Brahma has 4 heads. He has 4 heads, right? He's riding on a swan. That's his sawari. So that's his ride. He's riding on a swan, followed by a naked ghost. Because Lord Shiva is usually naked, grabbing at snakes. He's not grabbing snakes. He's wearing snakes. Lord Shiva wears snakes. He's a Rakshas, and he's approaching us. So run. And Madhumangal picks up his stick and he wants to beat them. And then Madhumangal looks and goes, there's somebody with 1,000 eyes. Is there to see us too, listening to your flute. Who was the one with 1,000 eyes? Can anyone guess? Indra, yes. Indra. Lord Indra was there too. And Lord Indra was there with his 1,000 eyes. He listened to the flute and he started crying because he was in ecstasy. And suddenly Vrindavan started raining. There was no rain signs, but his tears started. Everything became so auspicious. So that's the effect. It says that Lord Krishna's flute, it disturbs the minds of sannyasis and rishis and munis, and Sanak and Sanatan, they're sitting there meditating, and suddenly it all goes disturbed simply because Lord Krishna's flute is playing. So he has that effect. So then Balram comes and tells Madhumangal, friend, don't talk like that. The 2 persons are Brahma and Shiva, and on the left are Indra. So Balram puts Madhumangal at ease. And it says here, overcome with ecstasy, as with 8 years, he listens to Krishna's flute's music. Brahma rolls about on the back of a swan. So he has 4 heads, and so they'll have 8 pairs of ears, and listens to all of that. So that's the effect of Lord Krishna's flute. What else can I tell you that is in the Vidakta Madhva? Anyway, going back to my nectar of devotion, where was I? There are 3 kinds of flutes also. One is called the Venu. Venu is a small one. It has this 6 holes, and it's meant for whistling, the Venu. And then another one is called the Murli, the second one, and the third one is called the Vamsi. Murli is about 18 inches long, and it has a hole at the end and 4 holes. So that's the middle size, medium-sized Murli. And the Murli, it says it produces an enchanting sound. The Vamsi is about 15 inches. Oh, actually, the Vamsi is the medium-sized, and Murli is 18. So Vamsi is about 15 inches with 9 holes on its body, and Krishna used to play these 3 flutes occasionally when they were needed. Krishna has a longer Vamshi, which is called Mahananda or San Mohini. And a longer one, it is called Akarshani. These are all ladies' names sometimes. Mahananda, Sammohini, Akarshani. These are Lord Krishna's flutes. They are longer in size. And the Anandani, the flute called Anandani, which is long, it is quite longer. It's longer than Akarshani. It is very pleasing to the cowherd boys. So Krishna used to switch his flutes, apparently. He sometimes did the small one, longer one, bigger one. And the one that the cowherd boys liked was called Anandani, and it is sometimes also called Vamshuli. And these flutes were sometimes bedecked with jewels. And sometimes they were made of marble, and sometimes they were made of hollow bamboo. The flute that is made of jewels is called Sammohini, and when it is made of gold, it is called Akarshani. And Krishna also has his buffalo horns. These are his apparel, his garments, whatever he wears. There was a Gopi called Taravali. And Taravali it is in Nectar of Devotion, so you can go back and read it. Taravali was bitten by the most venomous snake of Lord Krishna's flute. So Lord Krishna's flute is such that you hear it and you become poisoned. So she thought that she's going to listen to the buffalo horn to counteract the poison. So when she went and listened to Krishna's buffalo horn, she became poisoned. The poison increased 1,000 times, even more. So the effect was not very good. So the Gopi was thus put in a most miserable poison conditions. Then Krishna has the attraction of the leg bells. So they say that, Menaka, when she wanted to attract Vishwamitra, she went and rang her ankle bells. And as a result, who was born? Shakuntala was born, right? And she married Bharat, the first ruler of India. So Shakuntala was a product of Menaka and Vishwamitra, and Menaka rang the ankle bells. So just imagine when Krishna rings his ankle bells, what happens to the poor gopis? Yes, it's very interesting. So, and as soon as they hear Lord Krishna walking and they hear the gopis, they hear the ankle bells, they run out of their homes, leave their parents, leave their babies, and they go. Krishna has a conch shell, which is known as Panchajanya. He plays that, and with that, he terrorizes the demons. As soon as he blows the conch shell, the demons get terrorized. If you want to talk about terrorists, Krishna is the biggest terrorist. He loves to terrorize the demons, not the devotees. And his conch shell, the sound vibration is so terrorizing. Apparently, the demons' wives who are pregnant with little demons, they get abortions straight away. The babies get aborted just by the sound vibration of Krishna's conch shell. It's so strong. The little baby demons in the wombs of the wives of the demons, they get aborted. Krishna's footprints are all over Vraj. Gopis, they love to see his footprints. That's where he went. That's where he was. I think it is Akrur, right? Yes, Akrur. When he first went to get Krishna, the first thing he saw were Krishna's footprints on Vraj Bhumi, the soil. And he started rolling about on the dust. He went into ecstasy. Krishna's footprints. He has special marks on his feet. He has the lotus, the fish, the rod, the rod for controlling elephants, the flag, the thunderbolt, lotus flower, these things. So you can tell those marks are there. Krishna's places of pastimes, he loves. He loves to perform pastimes. And then his favorite plant, Tulsi. Tulsi knows everything about Lord Krishna's lotus feet. That's where she resides. So if you want to know about Lord Krishna's lotus feet, ask Tulsi Maharani. She knows about his lotus feet. That's where she resides. And then when we see Krishna's devotees, we go into ecstasy also. Krishna has devotees. We think about the devotees and we feel love for Krishna. And then obviously the greatest one is remembrance of Krishna. When we have Janmashtami, you see all the devotees. They're here in the finest and the happiest mood you've ever seen them. If you see them on an ordinary day, it's not Janmashtami, you will see devotees, but they won't be in ecstasy like the day that they are in on Janmashtami day. They're all fighting for service on Janmashtami. We want to do this, we want to do that. On other days, they're too busy. They could be too busy, but on Janmashtami, no way. So those are some of the beauties of Gopinath. And this is what the ladies in this Hastinapur, when they were on the rooftops, they may have been saying these things. It's not described here actually what it was that they were talking about on Lord Krishna. But if you really want to talk about Lord Krishna, this is the best thing to, read and talk about. And Krishna's pastimes is, I've actually, one of my dreams, because I used to wonder, and I think I'm blessed by, I do feel I'm blessed by my spiritual master, that I could see this vision. Because Narad Muni also wanted to see Krishna, how he was relating to all the queens, because he had 16,108 queens, right, in the palace. So Narad Muni came, and he was up there, and he was looking down, and he could see Krishna in every single palace. And he was playing with his children, 10 children from his wife, and somewhere he was, talking with his wife. Other places he was playing a chessboard game with his wife. And, he was there in every single palace simultaneously and doing different things. And I had this desire, I was saying, how can Krishna, he's got millions of gopis, how can he actually relate with the gopis in Vrindavan? I wanted to know. It was very hard for me to comprehend and picture. So I had a very nice dream, actually, that I saw Krishna for, it was just 3 seconds or 4 seconds, but I saw Krishna in Vrajdham. He was with every single gopi at the same time in different places, and he was doing different things, but he looked the same. He was simultaneously doing all these things with these gopis. With one gopi, he was sitting there relaxing on her lap. Another one, he was talking, and another one, he was touching, and it's actually described here that he scratches them with his nails. So he was doing that. Another one, he was chasing someone. But he was at the same, that's Vrajdham is the same place. There were different spots. He was with each gopi doing different things simultaneously. Just for a few seconds, I saw that. And it was a wonderful sight. I'll never forget it. But we kind of, that's what Krishna does. It's very hard, difficult, but it certainly puts you in ecstasy. I saw that years ago, and I still remember it with so much clarity. Where we talk about Krishna like that. That is, what's the word for this morning? Sanjalpa. Sanjalpa. Not Prajalpa, that's Sanjalpa. If you want to talk about somebody, if you want to gossip about somebody, gossip about Krishna. If you want to talk about terrorists, think about Krishna in his conch shell, where he terrorizes the demons with his conch shell. That's Sanjalpa. Okay, so we will stop here. Has anyone got anything to say or any questions? Yes. 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 Okay, Suvash. That's new. Okay, Subhasha. Yes, yes. Okay, so I will say that, I'll repeat that on the microphone. The name that Lord Krishna has when he loves to dress up is Subhasha. And that is in Yashomati Nandana song. It's commented by Narasimha Prabhu, right? That's your name? Yes. So, okay, so we will stop here. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavad Puran ki Jai. That's a very beautiful garland.